We are back to the warehouse for Blitzball Battle 5. Another playoff game, another skunk patch. Let's talk Blitzball. Welcome to the Blitzball Boys, the podcast about Blitzball and boys, but lately about boys. I'm your co-host, Brendan Ruppel, along with my fellow host, Peter Del Rey.
Hey, Brendan. We're here with another elimination and another stinky skunk. P.U. Pepe Le Pew. Ugh.
Oh, I wonder how bad they really stink.
The classic Pepe Le Pew.
That was spot on.
You're welcome. Yeah. Pepe Le Pew. Wasn't that what he sounded like? I don't know.
Off to a good start.
Off to an awful start. And this is the episode where I debut my new haircut. Yeah. My beard's too long, so it looks ridiculous.
The beard hair's longer than the top hair.
No. Oh, God.
What do you ask for when you get your haircut? Do you ask for
4 on the sides, trim on top? I do 4 on the sides, trim on top, and then when they finish, I say, "Could you take a little more off the top?" Because my hair gets deceptive when it's wet. So it looks way shorter than it is, and then it just poofs up.
I have the opposite problem. I have such thin straight hair that when they take it off the top, thin granny hair, they take way too much off the top. Every time I'm like, they're like, "Is that good, or should we do more?" And I want to be like, "You actually took too fucking much off. How about that?"
Can you do a little bit longer? Actually, like in my favorite video game. All right, let's not get off the rails. We got Ice versus MacFlurry Power. We got Ice gets skunked. MacFlurry Power moves on. Champ's still alive. Before we get too far into it, no, snakes are long dead.
No, that's true.
Burn it, Brendan.
It's the mice versus the vanilla ice as the kids try to take down the current champion. Little K-Mac is up there throwing body blows and knocks out We Got Ice in the first round. Jack on the mound tries to match MacFlurry, but it all goes up in flames. Just kidding, only 1 run scores, really. We Got Ice needs 1 run to stay alive in this tournament, and Zoe walks right between the stone and a hard place to tie the game at 1. They now need a shutdown frame from Zoe, who tries this new thing where he attempts to throw balls, and he strikes out 2 batters to end the inning. We're in extras, and We Got Ice loads the bases, but like Peter in the morning, they can't quite push one across. The boys in purple with a MacFlurry of singles wins the game on a tiebreaker, and they move on to the semi-finals.
All right, we're going from the bottom to the top here a little bit, but how did you feel about, if Jack walks K-Mac, the game's over?
I mean, I put myself in Jack's shoes at that point, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I would ever throw a strike in if that was the scenario on me. Amazed that he was able to come. I think that ball would have hit if K-Mac didn't swing. Maybe it would have been a little high, but amazed he was able to put one in the strike zone. And also props to K-Mac being a professional content creator, even though he's sort of not. But good for him for being able to put a swing on that just in case and not have that dramatic moment be a fart.
But I mean, as a fan.
Oh, the way it was set up.
From an entertainment standpoint, just being well, we know there's no outs. We know who's going to win this game.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You almost want there to be... I think I'd rather... I was thinking about this as I was watching. I think I'd rather the third inning... I'm glad to do a full inning. I'll start there. I do like the third inning full in the playoffs. But you're right. If you're going to do a full inning, why are we going to do all this little dance of the tiebreakers? Can we just do a swing off after the third inning?
Right.
I think I like the swing off better than the weird little numbers and Jimmy holding the board.
Right. That's how... Because it's you just got to walk, and it wasn't a run-scoring walk. It was just a walk to load the bases.
Yeah. And granted, MacFlurry Power was in a good position to probably score a run anyway.
Right.
At that point.
Right. But I feel like it's different. Knowing the runner on first and second, if Jack walks him, they lose. Is not as exciting as runner on first and second. If Jack walks him, then he's in real tight shit.
And if he gets them out, they still have a chance. They're still alive. They have a chance to shut them out and go to the swing off. Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it probably would have been the same result. I didn't love it.
And I get it's hard because we have to remember that
we see this every year, every tournament.
We're trying to save their arms here at the end of the day. I guess people like Colin don't necessarily care about their arms because he just has a rubber one of those things.
Right. I mean, we every tournament there's going to be little rules that they see work and they see don't work.
Sure.
And I could be in the minority, big time.
Yeah.
I could be in the minority about liking this rule or not. But I just wanted to talk about that before we got back to the top.
I think it's a compromise between the fans and the health of the players. At least we do get the third inning, but I think if now we start getting into swing off territory, there could be a lot. Like they've already thrown so many pitches after 3 innings.
Right. I mean, the nightmare scenario would be championship game is won because, let's just say
coin flip at the end
love.
of it.
Yeah, Lovia's versus. I don't think it'll be coin flip in the
Honestly,
finale.
a championship coin flip would be very funny though.
It would be very funny, but I don't think save that for Captain's League. Don't do that in Blitzball battle.
That'd be hilarious.
I would hate to see like Rotten versus Lovia's 0-0 game doing this extra inning thing, and it's like, oh well, Lovia's went 1-2-3 in the first, so if Trevor in the top of the third, if Trevor like walks Nikki here, then Lovia's wins.
It stings to come all that way for it to be settled like that.
Right.
For sure.
So, I hope they'd have something better. I get why they'd try this out. Not my favorite.
Yeah.
But I could be in the minority, like I said.
Yeah. Otherwise, there's other moments in the game that I felt more pressure than there even. Like that was an exciting-ish moment, but there was pressure all throughout this game. Even there wasn't much happening, there was at the same time.
Right. Yeah. But back to the top. K-Mac pitching like a fucking stud. We talked about this earlier.
Looked like shit right away, and then he'll just strike you out.
a 5-ball walk, and then it's strikeout, rip to Colin, who like fucking chests it up and grabs it.
After the first at bat, you're like, oh, maybe they shouldn't have started him. And then I don't know where he's just like, I'm gonna throw. It's amazing. He has that Waluigi screwball pitch,
right?
And then we know his other. They said it's 10% of the time he throws the question mark pitch, which I guess is his version. It's his attempt at like the rising slider sort of thing. It's his tunneling pitch where he snaps his wrist instead of letting it fling off his fingers. And just the fact that it tunnels alone, it doesn't have to be. It's not a good pitch. If he only throws that little slider piece, it's a horrible pitch. But the tunneling alone is good enough for people to swing at it when it's behind the other batter's box. Yeah, it works really well.
Yeah, 13 pitches. Crazy that he only threw 13 pitches.
He makes people look so stupid. He makes them look really dumb.
His first 5 pitches were balls. And then he said, you know what? These next 8 will be pretty good.
Pound the zone now. He knows when he's not feeling it, he's got to get a little silly with it.
He's got to get a little silly with it. And then it kind of came into what the main storyline of the game was going to be with...
We teed up last episode.
Jack pitching. Mm-hmm. We talked about this off the pod a little bit in our debrief.
Yes, our hour-long debrief we had before.
Here's the main talking points. Jack started to get it again. I mean, Jack in the 3 innings, or whatever. Yeah, in the 3 innings that he pitched in, obviously only 1 out coming in the 2nd inning, he got all 4 outs with the strikeout, which is good because he had only had 1 coming into this, so he got it back. I mean, he let up better. 6 hits, but it was too little, too late.
A lot like a Garrett Cole start this year when he was like still rehabbing on the fly. It was like trying to figure it out. It was grinding, getting results, but like having a tough time with it still.
Right. I just realized that in my notes, every time somebody got a strikeout, I wrote that it was a huge K, because that's it is kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, it did.
Every single one.
It was a close game the whole way through. It was a huge
every
K.
single one did feel like it was kind of a huge potential momentum shifting strikeout.
Yeah, for a low scoring game, I was entertained thoroughly throughout.
Yeah, for sure. But then we come to the second talking point for We Got Ice.
On Jack still, I want to mention pitch selection a little bit, just because Peter Moylan kept saying it and kept guessing and hoping that he would throw more knuckle drops. And there was a bunch of counts where it would have seemed appropriate for that pitch. And there's one at bat maybe where he threw a bunch in a row, and then he just kind of went away from it. I guess you don't want to fully expose individual pitches too much, but I think it was working really well today. I don't know why he didn't just like keep dropping those on 2 strikes, and maybe he would have gotten out of that run unscathed. I don't know.
Maybe.
I love his knuckle drop. It's one of the best pitches in the warehouse.
Maybe. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not no more.
Get him out of here. Not in this Blitzball battle, bitch.
Holy shit.
We're mean now.
We're mean now. What can I say?
Forgot to tell you guys. To the second point, We Got Ice's detriment. Jack becoming good too late is a big, obviously a big one. Because I mean, in previous years, or in previous tournaments, should I say, We Got Ice is like a 2-0 team, but Jack got good too late in this game specifically. And then Zoe was very, like, off the top of your head, Brendy, you think best defensive plays in the warehouse. Almost like number one probably would be a We Got Ice play because they've just had so many good ones. And then Dalton recently has come into his own in that case as well. Yeah. But for the most part, it's Jack and Zoe, Jack and Zoe, Jack and Zoe. 3 outs, Zoe dropped.
Yeah.
Like it was in this one, the one here, and like, okay, like it's a little unfair. It was a very difficult play.
Right.
Off the wall, it bounced off of Zoe's hands, and I couldn't quite see where they were saying, when did the ball hit the back wall? Did it go off of Ryan into the back wall?
Yeah, it did.
Or did it go off the wall into Ryan?
They're little they're back and forth when they were on the bench. Jack wasn't sure either, but he said I'm pretty sure it hit hit Ryan first and then the back wall. So maybe even more shame on Ryan then, because that play is much easier for him when it comes to him. That's like 2 knocks in a row against him. So
yeah. Well, it could be shame on Ryan, but he doesn't have the track record that Zoe has.
Right. I mean,
he
had a good streak
point
there for a little bit.
He did, but the point is, like, Zoe has built up this brand of over the past 4 tournaments.
It was a hard hit, you're right. It did hit him in the hands.
It did hit him in the hands. That's how MacFlurry Power scores their run.
Yeah.
And then 2 more huge Ks from Jack to get them out of it, only giving up 1 run. And that's huge. We talk about this. We talked about it more in previous Blitzball battles. That, a 2-run lead is not enough. 3-run is where it really starts to get dicey for the other team. 1 run, who gives a shit about 1 run? You could walk in, run 1 run, foreshadowing. Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude.
And hey. And MacFlurry Power, if they score 1 run, that's
you are bleeding. That's
I am bleeding.
crazy.
Yeah, I know. Wintertime is here. It's killing me.
I did not see that. I thought you were pointing over here before.
Oh, no.
That's crazy.
Both these, my knuckle and my knuckle.
Damn.
Yeah, it's tough out there.
Sorry, I got jump scared by it.
Yeah, MacFlurry Power, not an offensive power.
Ooh.
So 1 run for them is solid. I mean, and we see later on, and we know this from last season and this season,
right?
They're the best pitching team. If K-Mac's having a better season than Colin,
debatable.
I love watching this game so much because even though Colin was struggling here and there, I love watching his pitching. I could watch it all day. He's the most fun pitcher to watch for me in the warehouse.
I don't understand how he gets his body to move
It's
like
amazing. It's truly amazing. And even when he's just missing, he's like those pitches still are kind of doing what he wants them to do, but they're missing sometimes in the right spots. Where I think the fact that he threw 70-some pitches, we got Ice was able to see them a little bit better as having good takes later in the game, but still such a fun pitcher to watch. Usually teams aren't going to get to see him as many times as We Get Ice did. So I think between the K-Mac and Colin, I think back-to-back years they have the best pitching staff. That's my opinion. What do you think?
5 walks, Brendy.
That's okay.
No.
That's okay. They'll come
it's
down.
Not okay.
I mean, think about
5
where he
walks
was at the first game of this season, where he is now. I think he looks the nastiest he has this season.
Colin Stone, 142 pitches, 10 walks. Every 14 pitches, he's throwing a walk.
Yeah,
and when you have like
trending
full
upward,
count, when you have when you go to a full count and then whatever the outcome is after that, that's 7 pitches. That's every 2 at bats, hypothetically, where he's walking somebody. Like, yes, okay, Colin is nasty. He has like this really, really good like style of pitching, and he has these really great breaking balls, but like he really needs to get that shit under control. Half of his walks were in this game. You can't even say, like, I guess you can.
He threw more innings this game too.
He threw more innings this game, true, but like he didn't get any walks in that. Oh, did he? Yeah, he did. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking at the when Jack was pitching. But like you could come up with the excuse of like, oh, it's We Got Ice. They're
Yeah,
historically a very good team with the walks,
right.
and
that
like
would be my argument.
yeah, I mean it's a fine argument, but
Yeah.
he's still missing the zone by quite a bit. Yes, he's getting better, but he's nowhere near what he was like last tournament.
But like
So like it's at the point, Brendy, where it's like it almost looks more like last tournament was the anomaly and this is the normal Colin Stone.
I still see a lot of last tournament in him right now. I think he's just like a tick off, and he's, like I said,
just
been
because
trending
he's the same guy.
upward. He's the same guy.
He looks the same.
He's got a better arsenal, arguably. If he can get 2 pitches down at the same time, they're in real trouble. Like, he's added a sidearm slider and like an over-the-top curveball that when he decides to just drop those in an at-bat, it's like, well, I forgot you had that. That's crazy. I'm way more worried about someone like Trevor, who you keep saying like, oh, well, he's Trevor. He's going to eventually hit. Colin Stone has kind of been doing it, just not as well as he had in the past. And I think he's been showing signs of being what we saw last year, where Trevor's showing no signs of himself at all.
What's the dick watch on Colin? We've been seeing any hog in this tournament?
Not really.
Not really, right?
No, maybe that's part of it.
You know what? Colin, get tighter pants for the next game.
Or like get a fluffer before the game or something.
No. We don't need that. That's unneeded overhead.
I don't know.
That is unneeded overhead.
Yeah, they do charge a lot.
They do. They charge so much.
So much. Maybe too much.
Colin, get your hog game up. We think that'll help you on the mound.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a balance thing.
Right. He keeps falling over.
It's a balance.
He
keeps falling over. He's like, oh man, I'm too used to like just a little bit more weight on my right.
He must have given some to K-Mac.
He doesn't need it.
Who was his? That was his. What do they call those? The raw call, the big cock raw call. You see that he did like lay the cock on the table for his raw call.
What are you saying? Roll call.
Raw call.
Why are you saying raw call?
Raw call.
What is that? What's going on with that? That's not a Long Island accent.
That's how you say it. Raw call.
Stop that.
like Rock Hawk and Mario Paper Mario.
Yeah, Rock Hawk is very different than roll call. That's very different.
Your raw call, Rock Hawk.
All right, I'm out on you. This is what you get now. You just...
No.
You're stuck in the woods now, Brendan. But Colin, these walks do bring in a run. He gets what? 1 before Jack gets a double. Then he strikes out Zoe, strikes out Jack, and then it's walk, strikeout. 1 run scores. Stop it. It's hard enough for me to speak, Brendan. 1 run scores going into the second, and okay, so here's the thing. Jimmy has asked us this in the past, specifically me, because Brendan used to watch live. He has asked me in the past, how do I keep myself from being spoiled by seeing how much time is left in these games, right? Going into the second inning and seeing, there's still 30 fucking minutes left in this game. I knew it was going to extras.
Right.
I knew it was going to extras.
I try really hard not to touch. I'm in the same boat as you know. I don't get to watch live that often. I just don't touch that remote.
The only reason that I do is because I have to take notes.
Right.
That is the only reason.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if I get the pitch count numbers, if I miss it, it doesn't come back up sometimes because they're not going to pitch anymore.
Right.
So in the case with Zoe pitching in this inning, going into it, I thought there's no way that Zoe is going to be able to hold him. No way. And then I remembered that MacFlurry Power is very much they look very imposing.
Yeah,
they look like they should be a high scoring team, but how much did they score? How many?
Again, they got a bunch of hits off Jack too, and they're gonna get to Zoe. It's gonna be like a Joe's situation all over again. He's got to get through the 2 outs, and he's not gonna be able to. And you see the first few pitches, and it looks atrocious.
Right. Blitzball Battle 4, they scored 10 total runs in 5 games. 2 runs a game. They're not what you'd think of as this is the building blocks to win is you score a bunch in Blitzball because you can get to the 5, and then that's how it is. Right. They're pitching first. They score their 1 or 2 runs, and they win. We were talking about this earlier. Peek behind the curtain. Spoiler alert for later on.
The shit out of me. Thought you were a ghost.
Happy Halloween. In the next round, it's a matchup. It's going to be a rematch no matter what, no matter who wins between Hook, Line, Sinkers and Forgotten Rotten to play MacFlurry Power because they've played both of them. And in both of the games, it was a MacFlurry Power special The game they won, they won 2-1. The game they lost, they drew 1-1 and went to this extra innings. And that's exactly what happened here. They drew 1-1 and they go to the extra inning, and they go and Holland walks a couple guys, and there's a hit that falls to load the bases, and then there's a hit that K-Mac catches before it's over. And then it's just, we win.
You worry that might be enough against MacFlurry power.
Yeah, that might be enough because they don't really hit. And then it's like, 2 hits, Zoe has another error, and then a walk a single to win the game.
I know we're getting on Zoe with his defense for this game, but both of these ground balls were tough. I think the second one was a little bit harder. All three were tough. All three. You're right.
But the thing is we're not like getting on him because you fucked it up, you lost for your team. We're getting on it because we know how much better he could be.
Yeah.
Go ahead, clip it. Hey, Zoe.
One of those I think could have been. I don't know if he gets all of those every time. I say they're all like
he gets at least one of them.
I think he should get at least one of those 3.
He should have gotten
I'll give you that. Yeah.
I shouldn't say he should have gotten at least one of those 3. Zoe of Blitzball Battle 4, Zoe of Blitzball Battle 3 gets all of them.
Yeah, we've seen people make stabs like he could have stabbed the first one left and right. Like we've seen like the Ryan Cohen stab. We've seen maybe that's
you're just gonna keep going with it.
But like I think the first line drive he would have had to have like snared right out of the sky.
He could have,
but it wasn't like an easily timed ball to catch.
Blitzball Battle 3,
second
he catches
ball was
all
catchable. 3. Third one was like maybe you knock it down. I think that one was almost impossible with how fast it came in. Pure reaction.
Almost only counts in horses and hand grenades, Brendan.
That's true.
That's not what.
Take it back.
It's close only counts. Fuck.
Shit. So your point about MacFlurry Power playing a very MacFlurry Power game. You mentioned to me before we started recording that MacFlurry Power is not one of the teams you think can win this entire thing.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think MacFlurry Power is one of those teams that can win because they just showed you how they win ball games, and they've done it for now the past 2 seasons. That was such a ball scraper of a game. Is that a new phrase?
Yep.
A game that they thought they should have lost, and they still won it. And this is how they've always won
pretty
games.
Famously.
Yeah,
they said it.
Yeah,
they said
I
thought we lost. K-Mac said I thought that was it.
Yeah. So I think they can do this against anybody. Like say that we'll talk about the possible matchups later though.
My only counter to that would be like, who did they beat this year? Right? They beat a hook line where Drew was not firing yet.
Yeah, the worst we've seen hook line in a while.
They lost to Forgotten Rotten where
he's got 2 pitchers now.
They have 2 pitchers now, but Trevor's not hitting.
Right.
And then they beat We Got Ice, who I think it's not unfair to say that they had a shit season. They had a shit tournament to their standards, period, but shit to their standards.
I can't even fault We Got Ice today though, because they pitched really well. And
who cares?
I know, but like, who are they going to hit? K-Mac is untouchable right now, and Colin Stone's the best pitcher in the warehouse. And they got one.
They got to be better,
Yeah.
Like we were talking about this before. We were going through their stats from our TPPs and all this, right? They're performing so far below their level.
Skis.
Let's see, right? Jack's OPS lifetime pre-Blitzball Battle 5 from Blitzball Battle 3 until Blitzball Battle 3, Blitzball Battle 4, Captain's League Blitzball, and Blitzball Blitz. Jack's OPS in a huge sample size of 76 at-bats, right? 1.619. For this tournament, 1.4. And when you have so few at-bats with the 15 for him here, and you're only playing 3 games, that 0.2 makes a huge difference. Zoe in this tournament, 1.209. Lifetime, 1.395. So we were talking about this too, how Zoe was pretty he was pretty much doing his
right. He's getting on base and he's slugging a little bit.
The big difference here is that Brennan and I had, I wouldn't call it a little argument, a little disagreement over
huge disagreement.
If we blow out. I punched my computer. If We Got Ice's,
looks like I did, honestly.
We Got Ice's play style, is it small ball or is it big ball? And it's like, yes, they have these moments where like Zoe hits 3 home runs in a game.
Right now, is he?
Big ball. Only one. Which one of the two has it? You know, they hit the home runs. Jack hits a ton of doubles a lot, but like you take a look at these. We have a sample size of 20 games for Jack and Zoe, right? 76 at bats for Jack, 64 for Zoe, 140 in total. This is not counting Blitzball Battle 5. Mm-hmm. They have 8 home runs, 16 doubles, and 54 singles. That's not even to mention the 49 walks that they had previous to this. Their whole strategy and the whole thing that makes We Got Ice good is their ability to get on base. And when you have a tournament now where they're obviously eliminated from it, where their on base percentage is, it's 600 and 522 for the two of them. But when you have a tournament where like the league average is for Blitzball Battle 4, the complete tournament, the league average is 565. This year it's 526. One guy just over, one guy below. Right. You're not going to win by being an average on-base team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a down year for them. Will they bounce back? Probably. They're young as shit.
Right. Yeah. At least the difference between this team that just got eliminated and the last team that got eliminated, both these guys are fully competent at the plate. They have two guys that can be good hitters, and one of the best pitchers in the warehouse, and another guy that can apparently throw strikes, which is sometimes all you said it during TPPs. Sometimes all you need is your secondary pitcher to be able to throw strikes, and so did that, and they went by the guys today. So props to him for that. Props to him for that.
The big thing that we talked about, I can't remember if this was on or off pod, was the only thing that really shocked us is that We Got Ice did not win a single playoff game this year. Yeah. That's the only thing that's really, really shocked us. Like,
you feel bad for them in that respect because you hear Jack in the post game like, yeah, so we do. We put on a good show, and then we fucking lose. So I mean, I guess you're welcome for good content, but we just can't seem to win big games.
Right. Look at the last tournaments. The last like quote unquote cycle of tournaments. So we'll say Blitzball Battle 2, Ball and Play. Was it 1? Ball and Play 1, Floorball 2, and Blitzball Battle 3, right? Blitzball Battle 2 finals. No, Blitzball Battle 3 finals, right? Ball and Play 1, semifinals, losing in an insane way to Pinstripe Strong, but semifinals. Floorball 2 finals.
Which I think they were calling Floorball 1 at the time.
No, Floorball 1 was with the Worm
This year was Floorball 2. Yeah, but they called that. They didn't call that. They called the second Floorball like Floorball again.
I thought this one was Floorball 3.
I think they called it Floorball 2.
Floorball 3, September 5th, 2024.
I get them mixed up with Ball and Play.
Eat shit, you fucking loser. Yeah, they had the tester league.
Wait, you were being hot mean today.
Nobody's fucking safe, Brendan. Not even you.
Why? Last week you were sad. Now you're mad.
Yeah, sad. Then Dan Canobio told me no more crying, so we're not crying anymore. We're getting mad.
Okay, he pushed those tears into his muscles.
But like, and then I want to say in Blitzball Battle 2, I can't remember exactly, but I think they made the semifinal. You go from that amazing performance of 2 semifinals appearances and 2 finals appearances with no wins, obviously, because we'd know about that, to 0 playoff wins. You're Zoe and Jack. You got to be thinking like, what the fuck happened this year? Yeah. I refuse to believe for Ball and Play and for Floorball that it was their teammates because their teammates were great.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was for Blitzball. I don't know what happened for Blitzball. It could be something just as easy as like, hey, everybody else got much better and everybody's now on a more even playing field.
Yeah. I mean, quarterfinals are do or die. You lose one game, you're out. So that it's sometimes as simple as that. It's easy to lose one game when you're playing the former champions.
Right.
To run this game back, they could win easily.
You're right. Even though MacFlurry Power didn't play like their championship game, they did play their game and they won with their game.
Yeah.
Whether they thought they should have or not.
Right.
But going into this, Brendy, how do you feel about talking about our player of the game?
Player of the game.
Kyle McDonald. We talked about it before.
Kyle McDonald.
13 pitches. 13 pitches, 3 outs recorded. First 5 being a ball is insane. And then also on the batting side, like 3 singles in 6 at-bats with a walk. And also the game-winning hit. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. The game-winning hit. My notes were wrong. Had to be him. I mean, it was a game where everybody was kind of playing where they should. Nobody exceeded their own expectations. But K-Mac, showed up where he needed to show up.
He did the job, yeah.
He did the job.
Job was done.
That's all you need to do sometimes. Is it the most glamorous player of the game we ever gave out? No, but it is the player of the game nonetheless.
I mean, it's a microcosm of the game itself. It was a grind all the way through. And that's
you studying for the SATs?
I read... Oh, boy. I fell apart fast. I read Lord of the Flies, is what I was trying to say.
Whoa.
Yeah. No big
Recently?
Deal. 9th grade.
Brendan's never read before.
I famously borrowed A Court of Thorns and Roses from the library 4 years ago, and it's still in my car. Sorry, library. Never opened it.
Play of the game.
Play the game. My play of the game goes to Zoe. And which is funny because he made 3 errors. But the play I'm talking about is the second strikeout to send the game into a bottom half, I guess.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a game-saving strikeout. He was supposed to just kind of pitch around these people. He got 2 strikeouts. It was the moment where I personally cheered the most. It was the most exciting part of the game. And it led to more content. So, if you think about it that way, it was the best play of the entire game.
It was a very good play. Yeah. I mean, it was
It had a great pitch too.
When 90. You look at it, it's like, oh, Zoe's not a guy who you would super trust in this situation, but I mean, he can get it done, and then he did. It's the same as the player of the game. It's not something that's super huge, but it definitely impacted the game a lot. It's getting Jack back on the mound, looking really good again.
Yeah. That would again, like you said that earlier, and we're not talking about Jack right now, but it just made me think of how you said,
"Fuck Jack."
Yeah, fuck Jack. Actually, you know what? This is not your award, Jack.
Guys, get out of here, Jack.
Just one game earlier. Maybe he has a lights out game today.
Right.
Stinks.
Just one game early, but too late.
It was interesting when you hear in passing K-Mac to Jimmy goes after he strikes out against him and Colin both. He's like, it looks so hittable, and then you just miss it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how it goes. I guess that's also maybe one of their underrated strengths as We Got Ice, that they have one of the best pitchers that has ridiculous stuff, and then a kind of regular strike thrower. Maybe that juxtaposition is kind of wild to see back to back.
Maybe. I mean, we'll never know.
We'll never know until we play against them next summer.
Ooh! Spoiler,
come play us.
We are here to announce we will not be in the next franchise league.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations to MacFlurry Power. Commiserations to We Got Ice. MacFlurry, keep doing your thing, dude.
Keep doing it.
Brendan believes in you.
I believe
Prove
in you.
Me wrong.
You guys are fun. I love watching K-Mac as a personality. I love watching Colin Stone as a pitcher. Not so much batter, but as a pitcher for sure.
It's time to move on, Brendan.
Fuck.
Cue it up. Everybody brace yourselves.
Let's go with...
Oh, double.
That was
it's super. I thought it was going to be the fucking air horn again. Speaking of which, I was driving. I was driving to work yesterday, and I was listening to the Hoppy Boys the 7 days or the 24 days of drinking beer on Christmas for their advent calendar, and you played that air horn, and I jumped. It caught me. It was so loud. Why was it so loud, Brendan?
Maybe going forward, I'll dull that one a little bit, because I listened back to a couple today just to make sure nothing was going wrong. And I was also driving, and I got very scared both times.
It was crazy. It was so loud.
Which was kind of the point, kind of the joke, but also bad. I realized how bad it was for drivers.
Hook, line, sinkers versus Forgotten Rotten to get who's going to rematch MacFlurry power. Brendy, what are you watching for here?
Trev's going to hit. I think Chris Rose said it best. He's angry, he's pissed off, and he's going to hit, and he's going to make hook, line, sinkers look stupid. He's going to pitch like he's been doing and mash.
Potatoes.
And Rotten's going to, yes, nice, yes.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Right, Rotten's going to steamroll hook, line, sinkers.
Rolls too, mashed potatoes.
Oh, again.
Brendan's having Thanksgiving part 2. Yeah, that's a good one to look for. I'm going to say watch for Drew Davis building on that great performance against Del Caribe. Brendan is not convinced by it. I think even a good performance against a bad team can kickstart somebody who, needs it. All he needed to do was find that arm slot, and I think he did it. If he's going to hit, who's going to see? Call him a slut.
I'll be honest. I'll just say it.
You know what? I'm going to say it. I called him an arm slut.
I wasn't even sure if you'd pick up on what I was talking about.
Yeah, Drew, we love you. Keep it going.
Yeah,
Brendan hates you. If you, what should we do today to kick you off into your promos? If you've ever heard somebody speak who went to Lake Placid for their honeymoon, what should you be drinking?
Whoa. I didn't know you could read this.
Brendan went to Lake Placid for his honeymoon.
I'm that guy.
Everybody has to drink it.
Gotta drink it. Drink Subtlety is a drink made by me. You can find it at thesubtlety.com. You can purchase it alongside of a promo code Hoppy Boys to get $2 off that order. The Hoppy Boys is the podcast we were just talking about with those famous air horns everybody loves to drive to. Listen to all 25 Days of Christmas along with us this holiday
Almost
season.
Didn't have one this episode. Sorry.
Oh, duck. Thank you. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast with Hoppy Boys to get daily episodes from now until Christmas. It's fun stuff. One of us drinks the Costco advent calendar. I find something else to drink, and
one of us, and then I,
yeah, do the math. It's a fun time. It's silly. It's a bite-sized episodes like TPP style, 15 to 20-minute episodes. It's a good time.
Brian hates it.
From
what I've heard, Brian, I'm pretty sure is 0 for 3. I haven't heard today's.
Tune in. Maybe it'll even out. Who knows?
Maybe.
Also, watch that show on YouTube. I'd like to say that this series is very visual. So is the Blitzball Boys. There's a lot of visual gags here. You can see my bloody knuckles. You can see Peter's haircut. So go check us out. And the stabbing motion's good. He's very good at it.
It's a good one. Very good joke.
The Blitzball Boys on YouTube. Look us up. Listen to us, comment, and subscribe especially. We lost a subscriber since last time. We're down one, so we need to make up for it. It's always sad to ask for subscriptions and come back saying we lost members. So make us look good.
Very funny, though. Good joke. Very good joke.
Good joke, guys.
Thank you for listening, as always. We very much appreciate it. We love talking to you guys on the YouTube. Brendan talks to you there. I will tell you, as always, write to us there. Brendan responds to every comment. If you want to write to us on Twitter, we are also on Twitter. I'm Peter Posk. Brendan is Ruppy Puppy. Nobody's written to us on Twitter just yet. But usually it's just, Warehouse Rob.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, Dan Canobio will write to us. Yep. Drew will DM us every once in a while, but otherwise it's not the listeners. So please, this time, underneath our video, I forgot to do this last time, underneath our video or on Twitter, let us know what do you think Jack and Zoe need to do different to stop this losing streak in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Something has to happen.
Good.
Because they're still they're both pretty good. So what could it be? Let us know, please. Beyond that, Brendy, ask me the question.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
Nope. Bye.